Hey, this is Lotus Comics. We're here at Texas Frightmare, guys, with Paul T. Taylor, guys. Judgment, Hellraiser, guys. Now, with that being in mind, I know you've just now kind of gotten into the con scene and all of that stuff. How is it being at Texas Frightmare this weekend?
It's a bit overwhelming.
Is it?
I mean, it's really great. It's all been positive, and it's pretty. It's overwhelming how positive. The wonderful fans who are coming up to my table and telling me that they embrace me as a new Pinhead in the Hellraiser franchise.
I mean,
it's a lot to take in, and it's wonderful, but it's having an effect on my heart. I mean, it's awesome. A lot for a weekend, and it's been so great. And this is a very well-run convention, first of all, and it's huge.
Did you tell them that you're gonna send your symbiotes out to them if they didn't accept you?
I don't have that right yet, but maybe if I do another Hellraiser. But speaking of Cenobites and Hellraiser, I got to meet. I've had the pleasure of meeting Doug Bradley, Clive Barker, and all of the original Cenobites,
which is awesome.
Which is just like it's been an incredible weekend just because of that.
Right.
And yeah. I'm speechless.
All of those guys are amazing guys. I mean,
yes, they are.
Legends in their own
and they have fantastic
and legends in their own rights.
Yes.
Yeah.
They're authors, they're directors, they're producers, they're obviously actors, and just the loveliest people.
Yeah, I mean, Clive Barker is amazing. My favorite was probably Lord of Illusions.
I love Lord of Illusions.
That's my favorite out of Clive Barker's stuff.
It's great.
And Hellraiser was my second.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's really cool to actually get to see that he's here this weekend.
Yeah.
You know?
It was unexpected. I didn't know I was going to get to meet him. Somebody else arranged it for me, and suddenly I'm meeting Clive. And he was
equally as cool to get to meet you, sir.
Well, I don't know how he feels about that. I don't know.
I'm saying me, for me.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Absolutely, man.
That whole thing, the celebrity of it is new to me. It's unexpected. So, I mean, I'm not going to try to present, I have all this false modesty. It's actually, it's a lot.
Well, we enjoyed
at this
seeing
point
you
in my
Sin
career.
City.
Thank you.
And then we also enjoyed seeing you in Hellraiser.
Thank you. Sin City was my first film, which is a great way to start.
It is a good way to start, man.
Yeah.
I mean, you work with a lot of like really intense kind of artsy kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Because even Hellraiser was really, really artsy in its own right.
Absolutely. Gary J. Tunnicliffe made sure of it.
Yeah.
I mean, he knew what he was doing. And
exactly.
And getting to do Super and work with James Gunn before he went on to Guardians of the Galaxy, and
amazing stuff.
And Robert Rodriguez, and it's been quite a ride, and everything's been very artistic, as you said.
Yeah.
And it's an honor, and it was a bit daunting to take on the role of Pinhead, or Hell Priest, as he prefers to be called. But
yeah, I actually did that mistake earlier this weekend.
Yeah.
I was like, "Where's the priest?" They were like, "The priest." I was like, well, the priest is meaning Pinhead.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh yeah, because I've read Hellraiser when it was in Marvel, and then I read his books, Clive Barker's books.
Yeah.
And I guess it was the priest before it was Pinhead, and Pinhead just kind of caught on.
Well, yeah, the crew started calling him Pinhead, and it stuck, and so now the character is Pinhead. But if you call him Pinhead, he will kill you. Well, if you've read the Scarlet Gospels, I mean, you don't call him that.
That's true.
But it's interesting. It's weird how it's kind of like the story of the Rocky Horror Show. I mean, it's this small show, gritty that doesn't really succeed, and then they make a film of it, and that doesn't succeed. I mean, they all succeed. Obviously, it succeeded, or it wouldn't have been made into a film. But it was very small, and then it becomes this cult, and people start going to the movies and screaming things. So now you go to a live production of the Rocky Horror Show, and people are screaming the same things they'd scream in the movie. And do you respond to that or not? Hellraiser is kind of the same. I don't know where I was going with that. How is Hellraiser the same story? I have no idea. I don't know where I was going with that.
Totally okay, man.
It's a cult film. It was a low-budget film, and I mean, and now, it's become a part of popular culture. So now Clive Barker writes the Scarlet Gospels, and they actually address the fact that he has this nickname of Pinhead, and then he hates it. when that never would have happened if in real life the crew wouldn't have started calling him Pinhead. I mean,
think
it's just
it's an
weird how
amazing
these
name for the
things
character,
come
though.
about. Yeah,
It really is.
yeah, yeah.
And it's-
Originally they used pins in
Yeah.
makeup, but they didn't show up.
Really?
And that's why they changed them to nails.
I didn't know that.
In the lighting, they weren't working, apparently. I just heard that from Doug Bradley the other night.
Wow.
At a screening of Hellraiser. They had a Q&A.
I mean, I can't imagine the makeup. How was the makeup with working in the movie itself?
It was really cool. I mean, I love being scary, grotesque, and unrecognizable. I've loved it
Yeah.
since I was a kid at Halloween, and I was encased, and once I was in the garb, and I was there.
Right.
It was quite a trip.
pretty intense, I guess.
Yeah, it was intense.
No, it was.
I loved it.
What was your best experience working in that movie? And did you have a favorite moment, favorite experience?
Well, my favorite was the last 15 minutes of the movie when we were
Okay.
filming that. Except for the very last. No spoilers, but the very last
Of course.
was the first thing we filmed. But the scene where Hell Priest really goes to town on first the horrible humans and then Joe Field the angel. That was just. I mean, that's Pinhead at his best, and it was just like, okay.
Can we expect to see you in the sequel?
I have no idea.
If
I don't know.
Do you know if they're going to make a sequel to
It's
Judgment?
not up to me.
You don't know?
I think there could very well easily be a sequel.
that's what I was guessing,
a direct
too,
sequel
based
to
on watching
Judgment. But Gary, when he was writing it, he was not writing it with a sequel in mind. But the way it's set up, there could very easily be.
That's
a
what I
sequel.
was thinking too,
It
just
could
based on watching the
continue.
movie, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, we're huge fans of the symbiotes, the Hellraiser
Yeah.
saga, and all of that. So
Absolutely.
I hope they bring you back in the sequel.
I do too.
I really hope
I
so.
do too.
And so, what other movies are you lining up that you're able and capable of talking about?
There's one that I shot over a year ago,
Yeah.
and it's called Sick for Toys.
Okay.
And it's right now showing at the Dallas International Film Festival.
Very
like this
cool.
weekend. I'll be seeing it Monday. There was a showing last night, but I was too tired and I couldn't go. Where I have a cameo role as a very twisted sexual predator. Speaking of what? I don't know. We weren't speaking of sexual predators. Different conversation. I don't know. But playing a sort of an uncle. Anyway, that's going on right now, and I have and that's going to be released closer to Christmas.
Okay.
This is just for the film festival, which is very exciting.
Yeah.
You know. And then I am lined up to do a short film written by Paul Kane, and it's called The Torturer, and it's directed by Joe Manco, and it's going to be bloody and gory and twisted and psychological and all those things that I've sort of invited into my life by playing, Pinhead, because that's kind of the stuff I'm getting offered. I'm like, yes, I'll do that.
That is awesome.
It's going to be a workout for me.
I bet. I mean, it sounds like a lot of work, you know?
Yeah. It's a short film, but it's a cast of 2 or 3. It's going to be intense.
Now,
And then I'm also scheduled. I'm on the books to play the Reaper.
which is amazing.
In a
That's what I was gonna
remake
actually-
of
that's what I was
Ghost
gonna
House,
ask you about it.
directed by Dustin Ferguson.
Which is amazing.
I think we're shooting in August. I'm not
Yeah.
sure when we're shooting, but we'll be shooting that in LA, and I'm real excited about that as well. So things are happening, and it's
That
exciting.
was the one we heard about. Was the
Yeah.
Reaper.
Yeah.
So that was actually my next question.
Right.
How is that working? Like,
we
you did
haven't-
Pinhead to the Reaper. I mean,
Yeah. Well, we haven't done it yet.
I know.
They're still working.
But that's what we were
finessing
hearing,
the
and that you
script.
were actually doing next.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, I mean, from Pinhead to the Reaper,
Uh-huh.
you have a favorite between those two?
I don't know yet, because I haven't done the Reaper yet. I do like the fact that even though it is a remake,
Yeah.
in the original Ghost House, Grim Reaper didn't. It was Grim Reaper. Now we've changed it to Reaper. He didn't have any lines.
That's true.
But he's going to have lines, and I've helped write some of them. Had some input on that, which is great. I love that. So the fact that it's in a way an original piece, only
Yeah.
because the Reaper speaks. I don't know. It's hard to answer that question. I can't have a favorite.
Right.
But I just got to say, I mean, playing Pinhead is the biggest honor I've ever had in my life.
That is awesome.
It's a huge. Inheriting something like this is perfect and bizarre, and the universe working in my favor after 35 years in the business. and but the history that comes with it,
Yeah.
and the fans that come, the international fan base. I had a friend who did a show with several years ago, Rocky Horror Show, as a matter of fact.
That is awesome.
Who's lived in LA for years. He texted me after I got the part, and he said, "Congratulations on your instant cult status." And I just went,
It's true.
"Oh, that's a lot. It's a lot."
It is true, though.
And
But, yeah, it is a lot.
It's overwhelming and awesome.
Yeah.
But there's also this scary side to it that I've just had to like power through and like, no, dude, embrace. You got it. You ask for these things to come to you in your life, and this is exactly what I was doing at the time that I got the offer to audition. And then I don't know. I was in the right place.
That is awesome.
You know, headspace, heart space, all of it. I was just in the right place.
I'm really happy for you.
Thank you.
I mean, sincerely.
Thank you.
Because we saw you in Sin City, and I was like, this guy's going to go far.
Really?
Yeah,
Wow.
man.
Thank you.
He's going to go really far.
Thanks.
And we remember you the most in Sin City. I didn't realize that was your first movie.
It was fun.
But
Right.
I was like, that guy's going to go very, really far before meeting you.
Right.
And your heart was like so into Pinhead in the movie that it was endearing
I had a lot to draw
as far as the character.
Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Do you have any like favorite horror movies that you've done or that you watch that you go back and look at and it kind of helps you along with your film career? For me,
What
it was
comes-
probably Halloween.
Yeah.
You know.
What comes to mind for me is The Shining, only because Jack Nicholson's descent into madness is just, I love so much. I mean, that's the kind of characters I want to play.
Right.
I want to be perfectly okay, but there's something wrong, and it just, I love that kind of story. It's terrifying because it can happen, and that's, you know, he's not a supernatural monster.
Right.
Granted, he's surrounded by supernatural hotel and ghosts, but the dude is insane.
He is
and
insane.
It's
Nicholson is amazing in that.
Yeah, he is. He is.
I mean, he really is.
yeah.
Guys, if they redo The Shining, Paul T. Taylor, consider this guy right here, Jackie's part. I mean, just think about it, all right? Now,
Okay.
with that, you know, if you were to do The Shining, would you put a different twist on that?
Well, yeah, I'd bring my own thing to it.
Absolutely.
There'd be some other elements. There would have to be, you know. Steve Weber did it,
That's true.
and you know.
I was
And
sad
it
that he
always
actually
depends on-
canceled for this weekend, actually. He was supposed to be here. Yeah.
It also totally depends on the script.
That's
the
true.
Pinhead that you got in Hellraiser Judgment was based on the script.
He did an amazing job.
And if it had been a funny, pithy, thank you. If
Yeah.
it had been a funny, pithy Pinhead, then I would have been funny and pithy.
Right.
He was not. There was nothing funny about him. There was nothing pithy about him.
That's true.
He wasn't having fun, except when he was doing his thing at the end of the movie.
That's
and
true.
that's like, well, this is what I do, you know. So if it wasn't like, I mean, Hellraiser 3 is a fantastic movie.
And there's
But
a lot more
Pinhead is
lines with Bradley in
unchained,
it.
you know? It's like
And-
Pinhead Takes Manhattan.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, and he was funny and wonderful and scary, and he had those great one-liners and destroying the church and
Yeah.
Am I the Way and all that stuff.
Like, part 3
It
is probably my favorite.
fantastic.
Yeah.
It's not my favorite, but I love it.
It was my favorite because he's got like the most, like Bradley.
You get a lot.
You get a lot
Yes.
more lines in part
Yes.
3
Yeah.
than
And
any like part 2 or part 1.
It's a fun Hellraiser.
Exactly. That's why I liked it.
1 is not fun.
It's not.
It's not fun to watch.
Yeah,
but
I
it's
agree.
good.
It's
It's
true.
chilling and it's terrifying. It's just not fun.
Right.
3 is fun.
Well, do you have a fan site that people can go to help
Yeah.
support what you're doing
Yeah,
and all
absolutely. I have paulttaylor.com.
Okay.
And that's just my website. And I also have a Facebook fan page, which
is awesome.
Thank you. You already okay, Paul T. Taylor at, I believe it's, I should know these things better. Paul T. Taylor at, if I had my card, I'd just read it for you. At Popo Herman, I believe. Is it Popo Herman?
Popo Herman?
That's a long story.
That's awesome, though.
Yeah. I want to do for Halloween, I want to play Pinhead Herman. I know you are, but what am I? Anyway.
That is awesome.
tear your soul apart. Anyway, yeah, I used to be a Pee Wee Herman impersonator.
That was very
long
cool,
time
man.
ago. And then I'm on Twitter, and I have an Instagram account. If I could tell you what they
Yeah.
were, I would.
Yeah.
But you just have to find them because I am not good at this.
Not a problem, man. Well, guys, come check out Paul T. Taylor. He made my day with the Pee Wee Herman voice. But come check out his work with Sin City, Judgment, Hellraiser, guys. Hellraiser Judgment. I can say it the other way around, the right way you're supposed to say it. It's been an honor, man. Thank you very much for being on the show. I really appreciate it. Absolutely, man.
Pleasure.
Keep tabs on this guy. He's going to go really far, and I can't wait to see him in the next movie he's in. Come check us out at lotuscomics.com, Lotus Comics Press. We'll see you here next time, guys. Thank you. Bye-bye.